Greetings everybody and welcome back to Industria Regrowth. As you can see, I've got a nice little Enderman here. Uh-oh. Ah, crap. Well, that was the worst case scenario for me. And now I am stuck where I originally spawned because I haven't yet made a bed. Maybe I should have made a bed before taking on the Enderman, but it's a bit late to regret that now. Uh-oh. Barely managed to get to the surface before started to take damage. Okay, the good news is this is the way to my base. Eventually. After some time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to veer a bit to the left because I don't want to be shot by that skeleton while I make my way back to where I died. Maybe I should have tried to arrange some armor before taking on that Enderman. The crazy part is, now that I have iron essence, that is a possibility. Well, here's my gravestone, which means all my stuff. So let's get the rapier, the pickaxe, and the shovel. Let's clean up the rest of the inventory here. And that Enderman is not around, is he? No, he's not. And to make matters worse, it's now sun up, but because it's still raining, there is a chance, however slim, that there may still be an Enderman out and about. Let me see if I can find the Enderman for this tower. Drat. It looks like I've lost the Enderman altogether. Well, there went my chance at that quest. Note to self. Don't try to take on any more Endermen until after I get some armor. At any rate, aside from the little diversion with the Enderman, the opening of the last several episodes has involved me maintaining crops. And this episode is going to be no exception, because the wolfsbane, the melons, and the corn, and the sweet corn, have all grown, which now allows me to complete 3 more quests. Let's start with the melon, claim that reward, claim the reward for the wolfsbane, and claim the reward for the sweet corn. Okay. So melons and sugar canes gives me dandelions. And poppies is from pumpkin and sugarcane. I can make one of those. Blackberries is melon and carrot. Cucumbers is sweet corn and melon. Wow. And garlic is snowbell and water artichoke. I got the snowbell, but if I try to take the mandrake seeds out from there, I'll probably make the decision on how to handle the crossbreeding for that off camera. But I will go ahead and put up the new seeds and the new harvested materials. I'll also go ahead and put up the gravestone. And then I'm going to grab some dirt because my wheat farm has hit 10, 10, 10. And so I'm going to go ahead and make myself some garden soil. I have a theory that the garden soil will make the wheat crops grow that much faster. I don't know if it's going to matter much at 10, 10, 10, but it's worth a shot at least. And actually, let me go ahead. Yeah, there we go. Grab a couple of the, cracked sand. I would like to use some material that's not cracked sand, but I don't really have any material that's not cracked sand at this point, so cracked sand it has to be. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Water goes there. 19, 20, 21, 22. Go ahead and actually set up the torch that's going to go in the middle of this field. I'm actually going to go ahead and place the water, and then I'm going to start laying this garden soil. Next step is to till it all. Yes, I suppose I could have used this for an additional magical crop, but wheat is more important. With wheat, I can actually make more of this garden soil. Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So let's go ahead and plant these seeds. Alright, we're good there. Excellent. And now let's go ahead and set up our crossbreeding. That way we get full coverage of the 22 that I've set out so far. I'm actually going to move that torch slightly as well, because it's now more or less in my way. And I am going to go ahead and dig the rest of this out. I am going to try to avoid releasing the water, just because I don't want it in the way just yet. I may not be able to avoid it. Nor is it necessarily the best idea, actually, to avoid it now that I think about it. So, yeah, never mind that. Just take out all of that. I just have to be careful not to break the water when the time comes. But, yeah, there's definitely some speed in the growth. But I wasn't really watching it on the farmland, so I can't be sure if that's a function of it being on the tilled garden soil, or if that's the natural rate of growth. Let's go ahead and harvest more of this essence. And let's make our way over here to the storehouse. It might be interesting to see what options, if any, I have. Actually, I might want to try a crossbreed. Garlic. I mean, if I break the mandrake, yes, it's going to give me a mandrake that's going to... Well, I think I actually got lucky with that one. No mandrake emerged, which is actually to my benefit here. Alright, so let me go ahead and grab a bucket of water, and then I remember I had a water source there. Oops. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, so let's plant the crop stick there. And I need to remember it's the water artichoke seed, which is there. And we'll plant that there. And that's going to get us going towards garlic. Let me think. Let me actually look something up real quick. Because, well, string is something that is in somewhat short supply. But if I get some... I need dandelions for that. Okay. So, that makes my decision on this front. It's dandelions we're going for. So that's melon and sugarcane. So we're going to replace that with the melon. I just have to remember to grab the melon, seed out of here. There it is. And go ahead and put the barley up as well. Of course, keeping track of all of these products is doing a number on my inventory management skills, but given that I'm doing these things in pretty small quantities, there's not a lot I would deign to do at this point. Let's see, what else is there? Cucumber is sweet corn and melon. Actually, now that I think about it, can't I make melon seeds? Yeah, I could turn melons into melon seeds. So, let me grab the sweet corn seeds. And I can go ahead and get rid of the carrots and the pumpkins. Add in the melons and the sweet corns. And actually, now that I think about it, it's melon and sugar cane. That's going to give me the dandelion. But the dandelion doesn't actually grow on tilled garden soil. It requires untilled garden soil. And the only way to get that is to dig up this tilled garden soil and replace it. But that's fine. Let's see. Melon and sweet corn is cucumber. Cucumber seeds grow on, they will grow on farmland or tilled garden soil. Okay, works for me. Garlic. And let me just double check something here. Okay, so it will grow on farmland. Okay, good. I think that's the limit of what I can do as far as that crossbreeding goes. So the next step, actually I think, before going any further, first off, clear up my inventory a little bit. Put up my carrot and pumpkin. Put up the cracked sand. Refill the clay bucket. Because I'd prefer to have this full of water at all times, or at least as often as is reasonably possible. It actually occurs to me that I probably don't want that to be like that. And I'll even take that one deeper in, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I will. But yeah. At any rate, back to the storehouse. No, that's not the chest I want. That's the chest I want. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up there. Put that up. I'm going to grab the string out of there. I don't have very much string at this point. What I do have, I'm going to turn into wool. And then the wool I'm going to turn into a bed in combination with spruce planks. And then I have to decide where I'm going to put the bed. I don't necessarily want to put it in here. I don't necessarily want to put it underground. There? Yeah, we'll do for now. I can replace it later. Anyway. That's not a quest requirement, but that will allow me to set the spawn point so that the next time I die, I don't spawn outside of the base here. Because it's, as you've seen, a little bit tricky to get back in. Let's see here. This just has my essence in it. And actually, let me see if my iron's grown a little bit. Yes, thankfully. 2 more iron. Excellent. And, ooh, you know what? I do think this tilled garden soil is faster. Because as you can see, it's already spread across all of the crops I've planted. It's great. I've got 64. Make that 68. Now, the other thing I've done is set up a third compost bin. But I'm not going to use it quite yet, though I will use those two, because I could really stand to get some more garden soil. I need to finish up the wheat farm, and I need to set up a second farm of similar size for the essence seeds, so that I can clear that up for something else, and also get better essence seed growth. At any rate, I've now got 16 essence of iron. If I put them in a ring like this, I get iron ore, 8 per ring, so 16 total. Now, there are more efficient ways to process the iron, none of which are actually available to me at this point, so into the furnace it goes. And now, just on a personal note, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab 5 living wood and a pasture seed, and I'm going to go ahead and craft a second horn of the wild. And then, as soon as I get the first iron, I'm going to go ahead and craft a pair of shears. Alright, next step, bed. Excellent. And now my spawn point is set. I didn't want that many spruce leaves. I really only needed the one. But now if I combine the spruce leaf with the horn of the wild, I get this horn of the canopy. I'll go ahead and put the spruce leaves up. Now, the horn of the wild, and somehow the mystical red flower ended up in the wrong place. The horn of the wild, of course, is good for things on the ground. Grass, flowers, and the like. The horn of the canopy is good for leaves. A great way of knocking down leaves and getting the saplings. And before you ask, yes, that is a dirt and gravel mine. I've mined most of the easily accessible dirt out of it. But yeah, the horn of the canopy, very useful. Very, very useful. It's going to save me a lot of energy and a lot of time getting the saplings from my trees. But that's enough of that for now. The horn of the canopy goes in here with the horn of the wild. Now, let's see. What do I have in terms of options? I could try to go carbon or tin, but they require resources I don't have easily at hand. 10 mana steel ingots. Wouldn't actually be too bad. Especially since it's going to give me more of these hydrangeas. Alright. So let's go ahead and take the 10, chuck it into the mana pool. And that is complete. And since I'm going to be sleeping through more nights, I think I'm going to want the day blooms. Not that I'll necessarily be placing them, but hey. And come to think of it, not only do I now have a full mana tablet, but I suppose the question is, do I want to actually use the mana steel for that? I won't put that there. I think I'll go ahead and put the hydrangeas, the mana steel, and the day bloom, and the mana tablet too in there. And how about I put ingots in this chest? There we go. So let's call that ingots. Call that tab essences, because that's what's in there. Alright. Let's take a look here. So another 8 compost. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the hatchet, though I'll probably cut down the trees off camera. Grab my crop sticks. And actually, come to think of it, I could use even more crop sticks. I still have some sticks left from my initial processes. So let's get the garden soil, and now I remember I need the mattock. So let's bring the mattock in over here. There we go. 2, 3, 4. And voila. So another 8 garden soil planted, tilled, and crop sticked. Wow. And that's all is grown already. Now I'm going to avoid harvesting. I probably shouldn't have harvested that one. Oh well. It will grow back pretty quickly. And then, of course, once that does come back, then it will start spreading over to these doubled up crop sticks, which is great. Now, back up here to the compost bins, and another half stack each. It's great. More wheat in there. Yeah. So let's see what other quests I have. See what the world enables. That is an interesting possibility. It requires 7 copper, which is actually, now that I think about it, within my capabilities. Although, just to be on the safe side, I think I will conduct another harvest of my iron and copper essences. 3, 4, 6, and 8. I'm going to leave those to crossbreed, those last two. And there we go. So 5 more iron essence and 8 more copper essence. I'll go ahead and craft up the copper essence. I only get 6 ore for the 8 copper essence as opposed to 8 ore for the iron essence. But it is what it is. I don't know that I'll necessarily use as much copper as iron in the long run. So let's let the copper smelt up. Alright, the skeleton seeds are still proceeding. I could probably harvest more of these essence dusts. There we go. Excellent. And that's as much as I can get out of that. So let's go ahead and put this up. And let me actually go ahead and grab 4 more stacks to make another stack of the weak essence. I'm not going to be short weak essence for a good while. And in fact, the only reason I'm even considering moving these to the bigger farm is to free up this crossbreed zone for another type of plant. Ooh, copper has completed there. So let's go ahead and analyze the copper seed. And while I'm at it, these aren't quite done yet. So let's analyze this copper seed. It is tappity tappity 544. With only 7 growth opportunities, it's not surprising that it's substantially weaker than it would be with a full opportunity. There we go. And let's go ahead and handle the crossbreeds there. And let's put the seeds up there as well. Alright, back over here to the wheat farm. And it's time, I think, for another harvest. So I might as well. Again, making sure I don't harvest anything that's next to a empty plot. Thankfully, nothing that's next to an empty cross stick has actually fully grown yet. So there we go. So a stack 16. I'm going to go ahead and grab the compost out of there. Go ahead and put the wheat up. Yeah. There we go. Another 8 dirt. It's great. And even more garden soil for even more wheat growth. There we go. And now plant my crop sticks. And let's see, it looks like 10 more to go. And I've got 8 that's going to be coming out. Actually, I think I'll go with this 16 here. Where am I on this front? I think I can actually go ahead and use it to start up this third compost bin. It's really intended for a full wheat farm, but it is what it is. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I've been having some issues with some lag while recording. I thought it might be the render distance, so I cut it short. From what I've noticed in this recording session, that didn't seem to be the issue. But at any rate, I've got my wheat farm very nearly complete. I'll probably get the last of the garden soil sorted out off camera. Of course, the iron is proceeding towards its towards the end of its first run. The copper is starting its second run on this truncated course. The skeleton seeds are not growing that fast. I somehow managed a 5-10-8 on this one. Not implausible. It's 23 points total, and that's about what I've been getting on these runs, but it's a weird configuration of that. And of course, I'll also have to make a decision on what I'm going to do with this farmland here, but again, that's going to be off camera. And with that, I think I'll call it an episode. I will see you next time, everybody.